This training clip from ACE Wizard provides information to the energy assessors on how to use the new AHU section in ACE and what data is provided to the client in the ACE Energy Report and the Standard TM44 report. Although the layout of the form has changed, the majority of the fields are the same. The first new field is the area type. The list is formed from leading fan manufacturers' air change rates for the different room types. Simply select the room that represents where the AHU is serving. Rather than using the drop-down list, you can quickly just type the first few letters of the room type you're looking for. To add a heat recovery unit, such as a VAM or LOSNE, simply start to type the name of the manufacturer in the manufacturer field. You can then select the model from our database or type the model number you found from the system on site. In this instance, I'm going to use one from the database. As before, you'll still record the approximate age of the system and link it to the appropriate time zone you've set up. The supply air volume, supply motor rating and extract motor rating have been populated from the data contained in our AHU database. The records also now give room to show whether a system has a supply speed controlled VSD and an extract speed controlled VSD. We'll touch on the derated fan power when we add an AHU. The heat recovery and AHU type have been pre-selected based on the information in our AHU database. By clicking into these fields, you can see the options that could be selected when adding a system manually. The system will default to in-service. For the building age, ACE now includes the data for post-2013 buildings. The applicable room volume is worked out automatically and based on the room or area type selected at the top of the page. The SFP is already pre-calculated based on the supply air volume or the extract air volume, whichever is greater. We also display the building's expected SFP based on the non-domestic building compliance guides of 2010 and 13. So we've shown you how to add a mechanical ventilation unit that's in the database. Now we're going to add a unit that's not. Both the manufacturer and model fields are free text boxes. So if the make or model doesn't exist in our database, simply type the details of the unit on site. If you can't trace a model number, then you can leave that field blank. For the supply air volume, as you do today, you can gain this information from old OEM or commissioning data, off the nameplate, or by measuring the coil inside the AHU. The AHU data you enter at this stage helps to populate the information shown to the client in the ACE TM44 Advanced report and the Standard TM44 report. The SFP for the unit is calculated based on the supply air volume or the extract air volume, whichever is higher. So on this example, we're going to manually set the extract volume at 3. By doing so, this automatically recalculates the SFP for the unit. To show how ACE Wizard displays all scenarios to the client, we're going to enter one more AHU. But on this example, we've not been able to ascertain any of the unit details on site. And now we're ready to view the client-facing report. By clicking on the AHU and SFP data tab, you can see all 3 systems that we've entered into ACE Wizard. The system ID, system type, unit location, all the data we've entered, including the supply air volume, and even if systems have been installed with both the supply and extract VSD or only one or the other. And where no data has been identified for the system, the table displays this clearly. ACE Wizard also automatically inserts the salient points relevant to each of the systems based on the information captured and entered by the assessor. The update also now includes additional information which is contained in the ACE Wizard client-facing report. ACE Wizard also details any of the formulas or industry guidelines used to produce the estimated figures that are contained in the report tables. Without any further involvement from the assessor, the information captured also inputs additional asterisk notes below Table 14 where relevant. And to complete the changes to ACE Wizard's Advanced Client Report, you'll now see at the foot of the section an updated reference table for the non-domestic building compliance guidelines. We're now quickly going to look at the changes in the TM44 inspection fields for the AHU section. You'll notice the AHU 21 question in ACE is no longer visible. The data is now automatically populated directly into the standard report. However, two sub-questions, AHU 21A and B, have been created. This demonstration is using the sample data on our inspection field test database, and both answers will be displayed in the correct notes field in the standard report. Just before we show how the data is exported into the official report, I'd like to show how the fan power derated setting is used in ACE Wizard. The sum of the motor capacities is multiplied by 70% of the installed capacity. This is to reflect the typical difference between the nominal and the actual energy absorbed. If the information is available, the assessor can adjust this figure, which in turn will change the calculated SFP for the unit. Finally, we'll show how all the new data from the AHUs and the inspection fields is exported into Evolve and how that will appear in the standard report. All the data for the Flatwoods AHU we created in ACE has been populated into the correct fields within Evolve. This includes the SFP, which was calculated 1.75 based on the derated 75% figure we entered earlier. The AHU information collected in ACE have been configured to answer the legislation in detail, whilst minimising the effort for the assessor to do so. As before, ACE automatically ticks the correct yes or no field, but also brings all relevant data and information supporting the answer into the notes section in Evolve. In here you can see that ACE has compiled the data to include not just the flow rate, but the motor capacity, the SFP and industry guidance information, as well as the derated figure set by the assessor in this instance. The notes also includes any calculations used, shows the area type and the industry recommended air exchange rates. This is further linked back to the CIBSE rule of thumb references for TM44 guidance. The new questions in ACE, AHU 21A and 21B, along with the AHU system data collected, will automatically populate the answer fields to identify the system's energy conservation facilities in Evolve. This concludes all the information to do with the latest AHU updates in ACE Wizard. For more information, contact support at acewizard.co.uk or visit us at our website.